What's going on, Sky Squad? We are back in the building and we are discussing The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 13. It is called Peach Passion, okay? Or Passions. Or Drew a legend that Kandi wants to be passionate with her and Latoya. Sky Squad, we are back in the building. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know right now. Okay, I don't even know how I'm on this live today at this point in time. I went down to the Renaissance concert down in DC down to the Maryland last night, and it rained, it poured, it stormed, and we partied the night away underneath in the midst of the rain, baby. In the midst of the rain, everybody's soaking wet. Okay, soaking wet like like a bedroom candy might make you soaking. And so, of course, we didn't get in until the heat of the night, okay? Because the concert ran late because they couldn't start because of the weather, all right? So let me tell y'all something. If you ain't seen that concert and if you ain't get a ticket and you still got an opportunity to, go ahead and run down to Ticketmaster and get yourself one of them scalped tickets. Because you know, them people be selling them resale tickets for about $4,000-$5,000. Okay. So if you got about $4,000-$5,000 to spend, or you can purchase a seat behind the stage for about $80 or so, and you can just listen. Okay. Now I would have been real mad if I had purchased a listening ticket last night and I was dancing in the rain and couldn't see nothing. Ooh, baby, let me tell you something. Anyway, that's that on that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. If somebody get on here talking some smack today, I don't know what I'm liable to say now because I'm tired, I'm sleepy. I don't even know how I'm sitting right here. But we're gonna get through it. All right, so listen, let's get into it. Now, I just watched this episode. I didn't get a chance to watch it last night. Okay, obviously. So I just watched it, right? Was it just me? Or was I delirious? But I actually enjoyed this episode. It was over before I knew it. Cynthia Bailey, Cheekbones Bailey was back. Although it was rather anticlimactic, if you ask me. And I'm gonna get into why in just a second. We still on this Kandi saw Latoya and Drew kissing situation. And it seems like this may be the final round of that, but we gotta wait and see. Latoya came back, and I had written on, I think it was Reality Chat's page, that I felt like Latoya was gone too soon, right? And we're not going to talk to, and let me just go ahead and let you guys know, I'm not going to talk about anything that happened after the episode in this live, okay? So if you've seen Speak on it, because I have not, and I have seen some of the social media stuff going on, which we will talk about in a separate video. We're only going to talk about the episode right now, okay? Based on the episode, to me, I like Latoya. I'm going to be straight up with you. But watching last night's episode, to me, just seemed to confirm that Latoya is an architect of chaos and confusion. Okay? Alongside with Drew. Okay? I mean, I'm just going to be straight up with you. All right? And more than anything, last night's episode, to me, made Latoya look like the liar. Personally, okay? That's how I feel. That's my opinion. And I ain't changing it until next time I have to change it, okay? But for right now, that's how I feel based on what I saw in last night's episode. And so I'm gonna end up giving this episode. At first, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give this episode a 10" because something happened last night in this episode that cracked me all the way up. It was mean, but I could not help myself. I fell out laughing, and we will talk about it when I get to it. But then the more I thought about it as I was prepping for my review, I said to myself, I said, "Self, we missing some plot holes here. There's some plot holes missing. So I can't give it a 10. I can only give it an 8. So I need you to let me know what you would rate the episode. And that's why I wanted to do it live. Because sometimes I think to myself, I see the episode one way, and then I'm reading y'all comments, and y'all be like, y'all make some good points too. So I feel like it can be a bit more of a collaborative effort when we live and for the people that watch it later. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I see some sevens. I see 7.5, a 9 based on the end, only on the ending. The ending was interesting, right? 10, I got a 7, I got an 8.5, 7, 7, 7. The general consensus seems to be around, I would say maybe the average is looking like a 8 or like a 7.5 to an 8. Um, Baby Marlo. I gotta let me. I'm gonna leave it on this for a second. For as much as we've had to critique Marlo's performance in the earlier episodes of the season, and granted, there have been people that have said, and even Nene said it, oh, I heard Marlo is reading the girls, or I heard Marlo's doing this, and we're only talking about the show because of Marlo. Some of those things we were only talking about the show because of Marlo weren't really things that I felt like we should have been talking about, right? Like Marlo and this whole, the unfortunate situation that happened with her nephew, I didn't feel like that should have been made into a it seemed like it was brought in for story purposes only. And I just felt like Marlo is more useful than that personally because of the position that it put her in as an opposition to Kandi and Drew. That's what I'm saying. However, Marlo to me has become instrumental in the narration and the comedy that has, I feel like, permeated throughout this season. So whether you like Marlo or not, as a housewife, what I feel like you can't deny is her narration of events to me is what I want to see on Housewives. Because the comedy in the reads and the comedy in the narration is fun. It's funny. Sometimes she goes below the belt in her arguments, but at least when she's commenting on the series of events, it to me, I laugh. I laugh. So that was going to be one of the reasons why I gave it a 10. And it was something Marlo said tonight, baby. I ain't fell out that hard since Jackie talked about when she take off her clothes, she don't look like a busted can of biscuits on Married to Medicine. I fell out of my seat. And it could be because I'm delirious. So if you did not find it funny, it could be because I am delirious, okay? From lack of sleep. Now, Miss P says all of the YouTubers were saying that Drew was lying, but I believe Drew after the episode. I still don't believe Drew. I still don't believe Drew because, and I thank you for your commentary, Miss P, because I feel like it's valuable. You know what I'm saying? I respect your opinion. I still feel like Drew is lying because at the end of the day, I feel like Marlo, Kandi and Marlo haven't even been getting along. And this is something that they agree on, right? Kenya and Marlo don't get along. They also agree on it. I just don't think, and then Latoya has said it multiple times a couple of years ago when it happened. So I just kind of feel like I just don't believe it. I still don't believe it. Toya says Marlo carries the heart of the old formula. Yes, she hasn't changed. She's working. The others not so much. I wouldn't go as far as to say that the others aren't working. I would just go so far as to say sometimes I feel like the others, like Kenya, is something Nene said. They don't have a lot to work with. Okay. And what I mean by that is you need for this group of women who have been so experienced and in this game for such a long time, they need sparring partners that can take them someplace, right? Um, it does sometimes feel like Kenya doesn't have much to do, right? Um, eh, eh, but there's no Portia there. There's no Nene there. There's no equal footing rival for Kenya to really get into anything with. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I don't think that others aren't working per se. I feel like Marlo is doing her work in the best way that she can. However, I do think that circumstances have deemed that Kandi feels a bit unavailable for this show in this particular season, but it's likely because she was filming another show right before that and on tour, which I don't know if that's the best thing to do. Truth be told, and Sheree as an anchor does not work for me because I don't really believe a lot of what Sheree says or does. I just don't. I never really have, to be quite honest with you. I like Sheree. I feel like she has a place on the show, but I don't ever feel like I see her as being a nucleus or a leader that the other women would hope or aspire to be or hope to follow, personally. And I certainly don't believe anything that she says about Martell. I just don't. But I would love to be able to support her in her She by Sheree business because I do feel like I want her to be successful on Purr. And I feel like Drew is a good addition to the show, but Drew, to me, lacks credibility. Personally, she just does. And so does Latoya at this point. So that's where we are with all of that. And and let me give my critique on Sonya, who I feel like is a beautiful woman. I feel like she's a great family story. I just don't feel like she's right for this show. I feel like she'd be right for something else. I want her to get all the sports commentary work that she possibly can. But Sonya feels regular, like me. You know what I'm saying? Sonya feels like, just like us, like somebody we could see down the street in our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like there's not a lot of fabulosity that's there that's like, oh my God, like I've got to see what Sonya's giving today. I've got to see what Sonya's wearing. Who's Sonya gonna read today? Even as a connector, she's not even like the neutral person in the group to be like, I'm gonna bring all the ladies together again. She just doesn't, to me, have what it takes for the Atlanta formula. Now, having said that, she could grow and blossom. She could totally grow and blossom. I don't know. Now, let's get into the episode. It's Christmas time. Sonya catches up with her sister, who still is not happy with Sonya. Sonya feels like her sister wasn't there for her at the Mommy Nation brunch, so Sonya tears up. Her sister's like, girl, I'm in a different space in my life. I have grown. I got a family of my own. I got my own man. I got my own kids, and you don't respect my boundaries. So, it's a wrap. It's finito. Like, you and me is done. You and me must never part, my mama. It's a wrap. So, Sonya says she's gonna try to do better with respecting her sister's boundaries, and then they hug it out. The end. Okay. Kandi heads to Blaze. I feel like I was set up for this Cynthia moment. Like, ooh, cheekbone, Cynthia Bailey is back. And when the girls come back, they always say, I'm back. Now, what else is going on? Okay. You tell me what else is going on, Cynthia, because what I wanted to know, you was tight-lipped about. Okay. Now, if you're going to come back on this show, a reality show at that, and then we're going to have this grand old entrance. We're going to get the slow beauty glam walk on you and whatnot. And they're going to give you a whole confessional. Baby, you better give me some intel on whatever happened between you and Mike. You tell us what else is going on, because right now you're not giving us much of anything. Okay. And I don't appreciate that, for real, for real. And I got to be real with y'all. Like, I like Cynthia Bailey. Now, I do feel like her time had ran up on the show, but I want her to be successful and work and all those types of things like that. But I'm like, girl, if you're gonna make your grand entrance back on this show, if they're gonna give you all of this spotlight, you make the most of it and tell us some tea, okay? But if we're not gonna get no tea, then what are you here for? Okay, just to provide some extra commentary? We got enough of that. Truth be told, okay. So anyway, we learned that Kandi is celebrating 10 years of bedroom candy, okay? And she got a new product called Peach Buzz. Don't tell Drew though. And then Kandi lets her know that she's gotten into it with everybody except for Kenya, okay? Even her and Drew. So they recap the movie and how the conversation of kissing Latoya came up. Cynthia is remaining neutral. She's not even going to provide us any commentary there because she says she went to bed. And Candy's unsure if Drew will even be in the movie. But she also reminds everybody for the 1800th time, because I keep seeing it in the comments, why is Kandi out and Drew? Why is Kandi out and Drew? And I'm like, y'all, were you around in 2020? Where were you? Were you? I mean, maybe you. And I can understand if you have forgotten, okay, the things that happened in 2020, because that is a year for most of us we would like to block out of our minds. But as has been stated, in flashbacks, reminders all over the place, there have been multiple instances of Latoya basically coming out and saying she kissed Drew. End of story. End of the mother freaking story. Okay. If Latoya, if you ain't want to say, if you like, why would you even, if you were gonna make up something, why would you say that? If you're making it up, why would you do it? Why? Why? What was the reason? Okay. It just that to me, it never makes any sense. Why is Kandi out and Drew? It's like, I don't really feel like she outing her. Has Drew ever come out and said she is a lesbian? She's never said that. No one has. And just because she kissed a girl, that does not make her a lesbian. So this whole idea of coming out, girl, you kissed her or no? Did you kiss her? Because nobody cared. Ralph said it in the episode. He even said it in the episode. I don't see what the big deal is. Listen. Tresha. Oh, I like your name. Says, I give it a 9. For once, Sheree was on the right side by letting Kandi know what Drew said. Drew lost my respect when she said Kandi producing scenes sounded a little like season 9 allegations. Boom. That's another thing that I don't really get into, but we're gonna get into that. Tresha, you on the right path. So I'm gonna leave this up for a second. Okay. I'm gonna leave it up for a second. We did get I did like this little scene right here. Kenya babysitting, I think it was her cousin or her cousin's baby. And you know, she talks about wanting another baby. For me, this scene was taken over by baby Brooklyn. Let me tell y'all something. Brooklyn is the cutest. I mean, she is the most adorable, make you want to go and adopt a child, have a child, do what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give money to needy children. Like, she just make you want, I mean, she just make your heart melt. It was a joy for me to see her in this episode. And again, I could still be riding on high because I saw Blue Ivy on stage dancing last night. You know what I'm saying? I saw Beyonce. I mean, I'm dancing, I'm singing in the rain last night. So maybe I'm just on a high and maybe I got the baby fever. You know, maybe I need to go and adopt a baby. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that the girl is so adorable. But as Kenya's talking about having another child, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, based on what we know now that you called him a FaceTime father, it better not be with Mark, okay? It best not be, okay? Because listen, I don't even know how to find you, Miss Kenya Moore. I don't know your number. I don't know your email address. I don't know who your management team is, but I will personally come and find you and have a good sit down and talking to you if you have made the decision that you ever want to try to have another child with this man again. For as much drama as we have all been through, I feel like we done been through the divorce, okay? This divorce has been going on for 18 years, and I am over it. So I do not want to see or hear you talking about having I don't care who you have another baby by. It could be Apollo Nada for all I care, but it better not be with Mark. Oddly, we're in Drew's closet. Did anybody catch that? Did y'all catch the fact that we were in Drew's closet? It was like, y'all want me to joke on this today, don't y'all? Okay. Y'all want me to joke on this lady today. Drew is in the closet. Come on out the closet, Drew. I guess it's what in my mind, I said, producers, y'all done set her up. Y'all set her up. Okay. And for me, all I did was do the layup. Okay. Somebody threw me the ball, producers threw me the ball, and I said, whew, okay, because I'm 6'3", and that it's gonna be an easy dunk. Okay. So anyway. Why are you outing Drew? Listen, until that woman comes out and says that she is either bi, tri, les, um, 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 or whatever, I do not care what she is. I don't care. I really don't care. It don't make no matter to me. You know what I'm saying? As long as she happy, as long as her husband, wait, they getting a divorce. As long as Ty happy, wait, we don't know if they're together. Oh God. Okay. Sorry, Drew. Meanwhile, we're in Drew's closet. Oddly, when you juxtapose Drew's closet with the idea of going in Nene's closet, whose closet would you rather be in? Would you rather see Nene's closet or would you rather see Drew's closet? Chime down in the chatterization down below. So anyway, she's in there with her stylist and her executive assistant, okay? And the producer asks, well, girl, what happened with Ralph down to the Vegas or whatever? And she says, oh, he was working, but I don't trust him. And we're not on a solid foundation. Skirt. Can we pause here because we need a break in the storytelling. Okay, producers, hi, hello, it's me. Hello, God, it's me, Margaret. Producers, I'm gonna need y'all to fill in the gaps for me because the last we saw Drew and Ralph, they seem to have been fine, and this was before Portugal when they had the whole brunch at Drew's house. Was it me or did they seem like fine and dandy? And then suddenly she gets in this white confessional with the orange hair and it looking like the Ice Spice. Okay. I'm a Barbie girl. And she's all of a sudden talking real greasy about the man. And I'm like, now wait, what happened in between? Because you've been gone. So all of a sudden now, was it the woman rubbing the oil on him in your video that really set the tone? Was it the fact that he's now in Vegas auditioning for the Magical Mics or the Chocolate City that has thrown you? What has happened that has suddenly led you to the distrust? And it may have been something that had been going on, but production, this is my issue with production. From the beginning of this season, you guys should have re-edited these episodes to sprinkle in a lot more Ralph and Drew so that we could see the slow burn of a deterioration of whatever it is that they have been going through. But instead, we wanted to focus on some other drama that we were all tired of that was actually quite morbid. Okay. This to me is a storytelling, like the story producer, we're gonna have to have a series talking to, okay? Because we needed to rejigger all of this because I'm not understanding how we got to this point of such distrust. Okay. Granted, maybe she's never really trusted him, and maybe the truth is just coming out now. I don't really know, but I feel like I've been like we missed a. I'm in a gap. Okay, I'm in a gap. That's all I know. Sophia says, Ralph is planning on leaving. What man don't want more wardrobe space? Easier getaway. Sophia, baby. Thanks for the pounds, boo, babes. Somebody said I had to read this because I think this is funny. This comes up every time. This comes up. I swear This comes up, and I see it for so many people. This says, "Don't you work for Candy's House of Glam?" I work for me. Okay. Last I heard, any coins I got came from super chats and the Google. Okay. So at the end of the day, I don't work for nobody. At one point in time, I was working for, who was it? At one point in time, we was all working for Monique. At one point in time, I think somebody had said, "Oh, you working for Portia? Is Portia paying you?" It's like, y'all got to stop this. I don't know who got the time to pay the YouTube people, but I ain't getting paid for from nobody. Okay. Unless they want to sponsor a post, in which case you are more than welcome to. If Bedroom Candy want to get me to do a sponsorship, I'm down for it. But at the end of the day, you still gonna get what I think about this show, and I'm just gonna give it to you how I feel about it. Now, if as a creator, I happen to understand certain people's points better than others, that is because of my own experiences in life, right? So some people I just identify with more than I do others, and I don't always understand certain things that they do. I don't understand Drew. I can't relate to the things that Drew says and does because they never make sense to me. But when I'm thinking about the history of Candy, I just tend to think that she is usually more truthful and credible than Drew. Period. That's the end of the story. Y'all got to stop that. It's so lazy in your thinking. Meanwhile, and if they paying, where my checks at? Okay. Where are my checks? Oh God. Where is your scooter? Meanwhile, so this scene to me is interesting. Ralph comes up, okay, and she recaps the trip with Latoya. And she said that she was honest and that she texted Latoya, and Latoya says, did they, they did not kiss. Okay. So Ralph says verbatim, "I don't understand why it's such a big deal." Did you guys hear when he said that? Because I know I heard it. Why is it such a big deal? Interesting. So she's just not sure why Candy is lying on her. And Drew is going hard with this story. If I were Drew and I did not want this to be a thing, I would stop talking about it. If I were Drew and I did not want this point to, if I didn't want this point to be further emphasized on the show, I would have just simply said, honestly, I don't remember. I had so much to drink. I was drunk. I mean, I don't recall. If you say I did, maybe I did. I don't know. I can't, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Um, she lets him know that Marlo is the ops because she recorded the conversation and sent it to Latoya. But in my mind, I'm still like, but Latoya is corroborating your story now all of a sudden. So that shouldn't even be a problem. He wants to know how cousin Courtney was. And Drew is like, well, cousin Courtney, I'm gonna have to watch out for her because she didn't really have your back when Marlo was talking smack about you. But the only smack that I heard Marlo talking about was that he worked in technology. And is that really a diss? I don't think so. We get a little scene with Marlo meeting up with her manager, friend Ty, and they talk about Scott Lee and how much he goes out, and she don't know if she could see her husband doing that and whatnot. Um, can I be real with y'all about something? I don't necessarily know that I feel like, let me know in the chat. Do you guys feel like we're getting the real on Marlo's dating life? Do you really think that she is dating Scott Lee? I don't know why I tend to question some of these relationships when they pop up on the show, because I think that there is a certain degree of expectation or perhaps pressure to show some level of relation on these shows, since the show is called Housewives. And I do believe that there is some favor that goes for the ladies who are in actual like marriages, because again, it's the premise of the show. So I do there's a part of me that thinks that Marlo probably has a very active dating life outside of the show, but I don't know that these men would ever want to be featured on the show itself. Not because of any nefarious reason, but just maybe because not everybody wants to be a reality television star. You know what I'm saying? Or a reality TV personality. Because as it often happens on a lot of these shows, I kind of feel like the men sometimes become the targets. Now, fortunately for these past few seasons, the men haven't really been targets. I think that the only man that's probably been a target has been Ralph, but that's mostly because of the things that he has said or done on the show himself, right? So I don't know. I just the whole Marlo and Scotty thing, they look cute together, but I don't know. I just question everything sometimes because I firmly believe that there is a little bit of pressure on these ladies to show up with a man. That's just how I feel. So anyway, Candy's working with her team when Sheree stops by. Sheree, we learn, has got some a new bust area. Okay, she's had some surgeries, got those implants removed and whatnot. And don't you know, Martell loves them. Oh yes, Martell just probably just wrapped her in a warm embrace. And so anyway, Sheree wants the tea on Kandi versus Drew. And Kandi recaps, everybody saw this kiss, okay? And Sheree tells her, well, Drew is saying that you are trying to produce her. Like you're trying to like produce some type of moment or something like that. Um, I'm wondering if she's saying she's trying to produce like a storyline for Drew to be so that I don't really know. It's just interesting to me. Sheree tells her, Kandi says, well, it's okay if she's not in the movie or whatever, because it would also stand to reason that and does this make sense to y'all? But if Drew has such an issue with, being perceived as kissing another woman, and I know acting is her job, and sometimes in an acting role, you may have to portray certain things that maybe don't align with who you are. But the way she's so vehemently, denying all of this, I would wonder why she would even want to play this role, which would put her in the precarious position of having to be or portray intimacy with another woman. If she's that uncomfortable with it, it would seem to me like, because even if you want to act, you don't have to take every acting role. And from the sounds of it, it sounds like she makes it seem as though she can just get any old role. So for me, it's like maybe she should have taken a different role in this production. I don't know. Does her being in the production make for a better storyline? Yes. So in that sense, maybe Kandi was producing in terms of, hey, this would be good for us to do. It gives you an opportunity and it gives us something to do on the show. But in terms of this Latoya Kiss thing, I don't feel like there's any production going into that. I feel like it's just Drew not wanting to cop up to it. But that's just how I feel, right? But it does raise a question in my mind like, well, why would you even want to be in this production anyway if you are uncomfortable with this notion? Aaron Foltz says, and thank you for the super chat, says Sheree can have surgery for her bust area, but she can't have surgery to remove her fibroids. Make it make sense, please. Now, see, I did wonder about that when I watched the episode, but because I know very little about fibroid surgery, I don't know. I can't really say or gauge as a man what the dangers are with that. I only know from the women in my life who have experienced it in some way, shape, or form what that surgery means to them because of what may have to be done to resolve the issue. So that's a tough one for me, Aaron. I really don't know, but I think it's a good question because I did wonder it. Um, all right. We learned that Kandi did invite Latoya to the bedroom Kandi event. She apparently invites Latoya to all her events. And Kandi doesn't really want to fight with Drew to prove a point because that's basically at this point they're just fighting because Kandi feels like she's being called a liar, and Drew obviously just doesn't want this information out there, in my opinion. Right? All right. It's the night of Candy's Peach Buzz Museum at the Selfie Museum. Um, Candy's confessional is much better in this episode. I feel like her previous confessionals were not very well lit. So yeah, this was a dramatic improvement. Marlo tells the girls about her conversation with Drew, and no, excuse me, Sheree tells the girls about her conversation with Drew, and that Kandi was producing this, I guess that a moment or something like that. It's nice to see Kandi and Marshall being cordial with each other. Cynthia is in the building. We revisit Kenya versus Cynthia from Ultimate Girls Trip, but that was so long ago that I just feel like great. I'm glad you guys resolved the issue. Um, but something I did find interesting was that Kenya said we got more information from Kenya about Cynthia's marriage than we did from Cynthia. Kenya said she didn't know Cynthia was having a hard time in her marriage and vows to be there for her. We didn't know it either, girl. We don't know nothing about her marriage to Mike and how it ended. And this annoys me just a little bit, right? You know, when she was in her relationship with Mike, everything was chill, 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 chill. Y'all remember? Everything was chill. Everything in life was chill, 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 chill. And now all of a sudden it's mute. Okay. I'm like, no, 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 no. You're not gonna chill us to death. Okay. And then when things go awry, you're going to leave us hanging and dangling. Okay? No, that's not how it's going to work. If you work your way back over onto the show, you're going to give us some information, something to settle us, to settle our stomachs. But all of this, after 3 whole years of chill, 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 and now we left dangling on the edge of the cliff. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You don't get to come over here and not say nothing. Okay? You don't get to collect a check and not say nothing. Okay? Sat up there in that confessional booth, makeup on, wig on, and then don't tell me nothing. I'm not going to allow it today. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Cynthia. We were all rooting for you. Anyway, everybody's asking about where Drew is. Is she still in that closet? I kid, I kid, I kid, I kid, I kid, I kid. Lord, I kid. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all I'm delirious. It's probably time. I should probably end this live right now. Uh, I ain't gonna get no better. They all talk about how it really didn't matter as much, I think, about whether or not Drew kissed her. Latoya, it really is about Drew's character and whether or not she's lying. Okay, that's the issue. Drew arrives and says that they are at another Kandi horny night. Okay. And again, it begs the question for me, Drew, if you are so like, you know, conservative, right? If you're so conservative, if you are not necessarily, you know what I'm saying, into, as Nene says, the dildos and things like that, then why be in a movie where you may have an intimate scene? Like, why? You don't have to be that type of actress. You know what I'm saying? You can deny those types of roles so you don't find yourself in these precarious positions, because not only does this Latoya kiss thing tie into no pun intended, the tie thing, okay, and now this whole movie thing, right, and now this whole divorce thing, okay, and we cannot forget about the closet scene. I can't. Let me stop. Sorry, Drew. I apologize to you. I apologize to this woman, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? Like, you don't. You are putting yourself in the line of fire, okay? So anyway, Marlo talks to Ralph about Scott Lee being in an accident and helping a stranger. Thank God he's a good Samaritan. And Marlo toasts to Ralph knowing the facts. So Ralph takes that moment. And thank you, Kurt, for this super chat. I wanted to acknowledge that. Thank you. This literally. That and I don't mind a walking. I don't mind a walking contradiction. It can make for good TV. And we're all walking contradictions. Let me be clear about this. We are all walking contradictions in some way, shape, or form. There are some aspects of our lives where we are firm in things and a little loose in a couple of other areas that may feel contradictory to somebody else, right? But Logan, I do agree. She is the epitome of a walking contradiction. Literally. Okay. Um, Now, Ralph addresses what was being said about him, all the nasty things that Drew said Marlo was saying. And Marlo's like, I just said that you worked in tech. Okay. And then Marlo says Drew was lying. Okay. She shades Drew right to Ralph's face and says that he wakes up to a person he doesn't know every morning. So he's probably okay with this. Oh God. And he actually chuckles a bit. I was like, no, Ralph, that was a moment for you to defend your wife. Let me ask y'all a question. And I want y'all to be real with me in this chatterization right now. Do y'all think that at this point in time he's a little checked out? I don't know why he seemed a little checked out to me in this episode. I don't know. I don't know. Ooh, interesting. Maya says, I don't like when housewives speak privately to other husbands. Interesting. I did think about that, how that would, I did wonder how that would play for people who watched it. But because I felt like they were working it through, I thought it was okay. And I didn't get the sense that at any point in time Marlo felt threatened. Maybe because she's 10 feet taller than him. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Who knows? Thank you, Sweet Cherry, for the super chat. I appreciate you, babes. Latoya arrives, okay? And this is where things start to get real, no pun intended, juicy. And greets Marlo. Drew then wants to set the record straight. So Latoya and Kandi, Latoya lets Kandi know that she's upset with her, and it hurt her feelings that she wasn't there to defend herself when the ladies were all going in about her alleged kiss. Let me put the alleged back up here. Her alleged kiss with Drew, okay? So Kandi and Latoya and Drew reconvene upstairs, and Drew says that she is afraid that Kandi is going to throw her in the dungeon. Oh no. Oh no. No, Drew, you don't want to be thrown in the dungeon. If you are this afraid of this lady who you make it seem like it's grooming you to be okay with kissing on these women's soft lips, then why would you want to be in this movie where you're going to have to kiss upon another woman's soft lips? I don't understand. It's so weird to me. So anyway, they go get Marlo or whatever. And Latoya starts about, her relationship with um Drew starting off bipolar, and Candy's like, yes, it was bipolar, or just bi, whatever it is, it works. And I was like, now see, Candy, now that was shady. Now you was wrong for that one, okay? Because Drew ain't never said she is the bi, okay? I feel like the person themselves has to say they bi, they is of the gay, they is of the homosexual, they is of the lesbian themselves, okay? We're gonna have to agree on that one, okay? And so anyway, we'll just have to wait and see what Drew says. So Marlo is then brought in, and she explains that she sent the video to Latoya to let Latoya know that Drew, who she is building a relationship, has nasty things to say about her, or some things that weren't savory, I suppose. So Drew then says, Marlo, you edited those videos. Those videos were edited. What she edited with the AI? Did she go on Chat GPT and create or Mid Journey and create an edit for the video and then send it to Latoya? You expect me to believe that Marlo Hampton of Lay Archive was sitting over there on her phone in the heat of the moment, mind you, sitting over there recording the video, then putting a light edit on it in Adobe, okay, in Adobe Premiere, in Final Cut Pro, chopping up clips, okay, editing, rejiggering, putting a thumbnail on it, and then sending it over to Latoya in the heat of the night, in the heat of the argumentation that y'all having. You expect us to believe that that's what Marlo was doing. She was over there editing the videos in the editing bay. Okay. Thank you, Drew. I'm so glad. Listen, if Drew was not here to navigate us through this situation, baby, we would all be lost in the closet. Okay, we would all be lost in the closet. And mind you, this is the second time Logan, you hit the nail on the head. This is the second time Kandi done put somebody in a production of hers, and then they didn't come around and said something about them doing something in a dungeon. Ain't that a B? Do we see? You just blew my mind, Logan, because I didn't even think about it like that. Okay, this is the second darn time. God darn it, Kandi, don't be hiring nobody else from the show to do nothing. Okay, maybe Cynthia Cheekbones Bailey, because I feel like Cynthia ain't gonna tell us nothing. She not even gonna tell us about the divorce. Okay, Cynthia will keep her mouth closed. Keep your mouth closed to married men. Keep your mouth closed in any situation. Hire Cynthia. Cheekbones is looking for a job and she's offering her services. So is Kenya. You could have put the two of them in a scene together. They probably would have had fun doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew it was acting, and they wouldn't have said you was trying to groom them for something. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't like the insinuations that Drew is trying to make. And I feel like, Kandi, if you want to be bringing people into the fold, into the businesses that you guys are trying to create and creating opportunities, you probably need to be doing it with tried and true trusted people, because Drew at this point in time ain't tried and true with you, period. And you thought Sonya was tried and true with you when you took her on vacation with you, but you see how that worked out. So stop trusting these girls, okay? Nene told y'all that y'all was co-workers. Learn from the lunchbox. God darn it. Thank you, JMW, for that super chat. Oh, wait. I never thought I would agree with Marlo. Lord, world is turning over. Drew is slow. Exactly. I mean, listen. Okay. Now, this is where I lost it. Okay. Marlo says that Drew is the only one editing videos. Why she look like a 22-year-old on Instagram, but like a jump scare in person? I think at that my spirit left my body. Just was like, baby, let me tell you something. When she said the jump scare, I said, now see, this now this Marlo this is the Marlo that I like. Okay. This is the Marlo that I saw potential in. Okay. That let me tell you something. That jump scare, baby. Woo! Y'all, that was Chef's kiss. It might have been mean, but baby, it was. This is the Marlo that I feel like, but she belongs. She belongs. This is somebody said it earlier. It's given like that old school, like back in the day level of shade when somebody would say something, it just kind of took you out for a second. Like what? So anyway, Latoya is what is Latoya doing? Is she denying they kissed in this scene? I'm unclear of what she's saying because Kandi is like y'all not gonna be making it seem like actually Marlo leaves because Marlo's like and scene. Candy's like y'all not gonna be making it seem like I'm making up lies, okay? And so she wants to. So Latoya then asks Drew, "Do you feel like Candy's a genuine person?" Drew says yes. Then Latoya says, "So why don't you believe Kandi about the kiss?" And I'm like, "Believe her? I mean, believe her? It wasn't she in the kiss? Like, why? Who? This is a mind f. Okay, this whole situation is a complete mind f. I'm mind f. My mind is effed. Okay, I just want y'all to know that my mind is effed at this point because I'm like, what? Believe her? Wasn't she there? Wasn't she kissing you? Like, what? You're talking about this kiss as though it happened to someone else, Latoya. What are you talking about? So then Drew says, yes, I feel like Candy's a genuine person. Latoya says, so why don't you believe Kandi? Then Drew says in her confessional, Kandi was fantasizing about her and Latoya because Drew is so hot. And I feel like when you talk about the fantasy of it all, you gotta shake a little something. You know what I'm saying? You gotta shake a little something. Um, not the fantasy, okay? Not the ludicrous fantasy, baby. Oh God. I said, Drew, now listen, this red wig done gone to your head, girl. Because y'all know, no, it's either the red wig or it's the mullet. But either this, is it red or is it orange? Whatever it is, either this orange wig or this mullet then got to your head, girl. Because you've been on one since you done slapped them wigs on. Okay, is they go naked? Is it to go naked? Baby, to go naked will take you higher. So anyway, Kandi just says, you know what? We just gonna have to agree to disagree. Okay. Um, you know, uh, and that's just gonna be that. So the producer asked Drew, why is everybody, more specifically Kandi and Latoya, claiming that you kissed her? Drew then brings up the after show clip of Latoya denying the kiss. And this, to me, I think is supposed to prove that Kandi is, or at least it casts a shadow of doubt on what Kandi had been claiming earlier, because Kandi says, well, okay, well, maybe I didn't see what I don't know. I apologize, because Latoya then denied it in the after show clip. But it's just, and I thought adding that clip in there was technically genius on the part of the producers, because it creates a very interesting story. Did she or did she? Wait, did she or didn't she? Y'all know I told y'all I was delirious. Anything I said in this video, y'all, please don't take it personally, because I'm not in my right mind today. I'm tired, I'm sleepy, and I'm still on the high from watching the B. I mean, right now I'm still thinking about Cuff It, okay? And the crowd went mute. Yes, they did. So anyway, let me know what you thought of the episode. To me, I ended this episode honestly just feeling as though Latoya comes across as not very credible. I felt like Drew doesn't really come across. I mean, that clip to me, again, like I said, that ending clip said more about Latoya than it said about anybody else. Because in previous clips in the episode, she said she did kiss Drew. We've seen the speak on it clip where she said she did kiss Drew. We've heard Kenya, Marlo, and Kandi say they saw them kiss. And then we see Latoya in a new clip from the after show, not a new clip, old clip, saying she didn't kiss her. And it's like, girl, like, I mean, like, what is the truth, as Oprah would say? What is the truth? Do you know? Do you know, Diane? And so, at the end of the day, I just want to leave y'all with this. Who do you believe? Do you believe Drew and Latoya, or do you believe Kandi, Marlo, Kenya, and everybody else? Let me know in the chatterization down below.
So, Desiree Davenport, what are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
Honestly, I've lost everything in the most horrible way possible. And listen, I want it all back. I'm willing to build it piece by piece, and I mean brick by brick.
Oh, honey, she is done. I bet you a Birkin she doesn't last all season with us. Just watch.
I'm Misha Hill, and I'd like to consider myself the matriarch of this dynamic group of ladies. I mean, someone has to keep them under control.
I'm Davita Delaney.
I mean, I think I could teach these ladies a thing or two about how to get and keep a good man.
They said she was a gold digger. Gene, you're there for me.
I'm just really looking forward to being surrounded by other empowering bosses.
Yes, I know exactly what she's doing. And if she keep playing in my face, I'm gonna have to let her off her dirty little secrets just like she did to me. And I'm not playing.
Let's get this straight. If I brought you into this circle, I just as easily can take you out. She ain't running nothing over here, okay? She needs to be worried about running that household and worried about why that husband of hers is never at home.
Oh, hell.
Ooh, child, this is about to be a mess.
Oh my God, I hate mess. What in the world did I get myself into?